What if the strange setbacks in your life, the constant tension, the sudden bad luck, or that heavy, draining presence around certain people aren't coincidences at all? What if they're deliberate? In a world where unseen forces are still used to influence others, many people become targets without ever realizing it. The truth is, you don't have to believe in the supernatural to feel its impact, especially when it's being used to weaken your mind, block your progress, or cloud your sense of self. This isn't about fantasy or fear. It's about recognizing a deeper pattern of psychological and energetic manipulation that's been practiced for centuries. Whether it's through rituals, intentions, or subtle control tactics, some individuals still use occult methods to disturb the lives of others in ways that are hard to trace but deeply felt. In this video, you'll discover 5 warning signs that someone might be using these hidden forces against you. These aren't just spooky red flags. They're specific behaviors and emotional shifts that show up when someone is secretly working to influence your path. And once you know what to look for, you can reclaim your power, restore your peace, and break the cycle. Stay with me until the end, because the final sign doesn't just reveal what's happening, it shows you how to fight back. Let's get into it. Sign 1. Unexplainable patterns of misfortune. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a bizarre cycle where everything starts slipping through your fingers despite your best efforts? Not just the occasional bad day or unexpected delay, but a disturbing pattern of disruptions that seem far too precise to be accidental. It's as if the universe has turned against you at exactly the moments you're finally gaining momentum. And no matter how hard you push forward, something or someone keeps pulling you back. This isn't the normal ebb and flow of life. These are setbacks that feel engineered, missed opportunities that seem to collapse just as success is within reach, relationships unraveling without warning, critical plans falling apart for reasons that make no logical sense. And the most unsettling part: these events don't strike randomly. They strike when you're at your most hopeful, your most determined, your most ready. Think back to those moments. Have you ever noticed strange interference only when something truly important is at stake? Your computer crashing only during job interviews. A medical issue appearing just as you begin to recover emotionally. Friends turning distant the moment you commit to a new life direction. These aren't just frustrating coincidences. They're indicator signals that your energy, your goals, and your mindset may be under attack. I once spoke with a man who launched a business after years of planning. The moment he went public, his suppliers backed out, his launch site crashed, and even his car broke down on the way to a vital investor meeting. At first, we blamed stress, overwork, maybe even poor luck. But when every major move he made was followed by a specific and damaging blow, the pattern became undeniable. This is how occult manipulation often begins. Not with dark rituals or obvious enemies, but with quiet sabotage that disrupts your rhythm and makes you question yourself. You start internalizing the chaos. You doubt your worth, your skills, even your sanity. And that's exactly the goal. Because if someone can keep you unstable, they can keep you weak and easily controlled. But awareness is your weapon. If you've been experiencing strangely timed setbacks that consistently derail your progress, especially when everything else in your life seems aligned, you need to start documenting the details. Look deeper. What's the common thread? Who's around when things go wrong? Do these misfortunes tend to follow the same emotional patterns, or show up right after certain conversations or decisions? These connections are rarely obvious, but once seen, they can't be unseen. This is more than just recognizing interference. It's the first step toward reclaiming your strength. The first true sign that someone may be using occult tactics against you is a focused, relentless wave of misfortune aimed at your momentum. The purpose isn't to destroy you outright. It's to wear you down so slowly that you don't even notice you're being drained. This is not superstition. It's pattern recognition. And once you recognize it, you can begin to fight back. Sign 2. Disrupted sleep and dream intrusions. Now let's look at the second critical sign that someone may be targeting you through unseen forces: the disruption of your sleep and the invasion of your dreams. While most people think of spiritual manipulation as something that affects them during the day, it's often in the silence of night, when your defenses are lowered and your mind is most open, that the deepest interference occurs. Sleep is meant to be your sanctuary. It's when your body repairs your mind processes and your spirit reconnects. But when that sacred space is disturbed, when your dreams become unsettling, your nights fragmented, and your energy fades despite a full night's rest, it's not always just stress or poor habits. Sometimes it's something or someone working against you while you sleep. One man I spoke to, a disciplined and grounded professional, followed every sleep hygiene rule in the book. Still, he awoke every morning more exhausted than the night before. His dreams weren't typical. They felt like intrusions. The same dark figure appeared hovering just at the edge of recognition, always near, but never speaking. The more this shadow showed up, the more drained he became. It wasn't fear, it was depletion. This kind of nocturnal sabotage is a hallmark of occult interference. Whether it's waking at exactly the same hour, night after night, feeling watched while asleep, or battling dream scenarios that leave you emotionally wrecked by morning, the pattern is what matters. Especially when these episodes are paired with symptoms like unshakable fatigue, unexplained physical marks, or a weight that clings to your chest upon waking, there's usually more at play than anxiety or diet. These dreams often carry recurring symbolic themes: being chased, trapped, attacked, or drowned. And when familiar faces show up behaving in unnatural, sinister ways, speaking in distorted voices, or radiating malice, you're not just experiencing the imagination at work. You're witnessing your subconscious reacting to energetic interference. The impact doesn't end when you open your eyes. People dealing with this kind of nighttime manipulation often struggle with mental fog, emotional instability, or a lack of drive during the day. Over time, their willpower erodes not from physical exhaustion alone, but from a deeper spiritual fatigue they can't explain. The key difference between ordinary sleep disruption and spiritual manipulation is the emotional residue and recurring patterns. Everyday bad sleep might leave you tired, but it doesn't make you feel watched. It doesn't inject terror into your dreams night after night. And it doesn't strip away your energy like something has been feeding off it. To begin reclaiming your rest, it's essential to set an energetic boundary before sleep. Some people turn to rituals, light visualizations, or spiritual tools. Others simply focus their intention mentally, declaring their space protected and their body untouchable. Whatever the method, what matters most is that you affirm your authority. One woman I worked with suffered from recurring night terrors for months. Once she cleared her space of certain emotionally charged objects, established a simple bedtime ritual, and reinforced her boundaries with quiet intention, the attacks stopped. Her clarity returned. Her strength followed. If your nights feel disturbed in a way you can't rationalize, don't ignore it. Occult interference often begins in dreams because dreams are gateways. and your awareness sharpened, calm, and conscious can be the shield that keeps the darkness out. Sign 3. Mysterious exhaustion and energy vampirism. Let's turn to the third warning sign, one that many people dismiss as just stress or burnout. A sudden, intense exhaustion that seems to strike without warning and for no obvious reason. This isn't the kind of tiredness that builds up after a long day. It's heavier. It hits fast, clouds your thinking, and can leave you feeling completely drained, especially after certain interactions, visits to specific places, or even exposure to a message or image. When your energy crashes like this, seemingly out of nowhere, it may not be your body that's tired. It might be your spirit that's under attack. This kind of depletion is often a symptom of what's known as energy vampirism, when someone consciously or not draws on your life force to feed their own. These people don't need physical proximity to affect you. A phone call, a text, even a glance at their social media post can open that connection, especially if there's unresolved emotional energy between you. Energy follows attention. And when someone locks onto you, even from a distance, your system can feel it. One client, who had recently separated from a manipulative partner, told me that every time he saw her name pop up on his phone, even just a notification, he would feel lightheaded, foggy, or overwhelmed with fatigue. After cutting off all digital contact and implementing energy-clearing practices, his strength and clarity returned within days. It wasn't about what she said. It was the energetic thread that was still active. Of course, before considering any energetic explanation, always rule out physical or mental health causes. But if your energy crashes seem tied to specific people, conversations, or even thoughts, and traditional solutions bring no relief, it's time to consider another layer. Spiritual exhaustion doesn't follow the rules of physical illness. You might be fine all morning, focused, driven, even joyful. Then, after one encounter, or even a brief conversation, your drive collapses. You feel emotionally dull, physically heavy, or suddenly anxious without cause. These are signs that your energetic boundaries are being crossed, and your system is reacting to it. Sometimes this interference targets specific energy centers in the body. You may feel like you've lost your voice, or can't express yourself around someone, suggesting interference with your communication center. Or you might feel like your confidence is being sapped, which points to a disturbance in the solar plexus, your core of personal power. The most revealing approach is to track your energy consciously. After each encounter, reflect: do you feel clearer or heavier, energized or emptied? Some people will lift you without even trying. Others will drain you with a smile on their face. And once you start noticing the pattern, you'll begin to reclaim control. To protect yourself, begin with intention. Picture yourself surrounded by a protective field, one that reflects negativity rather than absorbing it. Use physical objects or rituals if they support you. But above all, develop awareness. Awareness creates choice, and choice is what reclaims your sovereignty. Because the moment you stop dismissing the drain as just being tired is the moment you begin cutting off access to anyone who never had the right to your energy in the first place. Sign 4. Relationship sabotage through occult influence. If the signs we've explored so far are starting to feel familiar, it's because some truths are felt before they're fully understood. And the next sign may strike closer to the heart than any other: the subtle breakdown of your most cherished relationships. Not by accident, but by design. Our connections with loved ones are our greatest sources of emotional strength. They're the support systems that carry us through life's darkest chapters. That's why those who wish to harm you spiritually won't always come at you directly. Instead, they aim at your foundation, your relationships, sowing silent discord between you and the very people who give you stability and meaning. This sabotage doesn't erupt in obvious conflict. It creeps in gradually. Suddenly, a close friend seems distant. A partner becomes critical and mistrustful. Conversations that used to feel warm turn tense. You're accused of things you never did. Or worse, people claim you said things you've never spoken aloud. It's like something is shifting reality around you. And in many ways, that's exactly what's happening. This isn't everyday drama. It's energetic manipulation that warps perception and stirs emotional unrest. Through focused intent, spiritual rituals, or the use of charged objects, someone can create a rift in how others experience your energy. They can twist your words before they reach the ears of those who care about you, or stir mistrust that feels baseless but impossible to shake. The result: isolation, confusion, pain that feels unearned. I recall someone who watched his partner of 10 years turn cold almost overnight. There had been no major conflict, no betrayal, just a slow erosion of warmth and trust. Everything he said was met with suspicion. The love between them seemed to vanish without reason. Eventually, he discovered his partner had been influenced by a third party, someone deliberately using spiritual means to sever the bond. Once that influence was cut off, the relationship slowly began to mend. This kind of manipulation is so devastating because it strikes at your identity. You don't just lose a relationship, you start to doubt your own reality. The people who once knew your heart begin to treat you like a stranger. And even as you try to explain or repair the damage, nothing seems to work. That's a key difference between natural relationship struggles and occult interference. One can be discussed and resolved. The other feels like an invisible wall has risen between you. To counter this, you need both emotional clarity and spiritual resilience. Anchor yourself in who you truly are, your values, your intentions, your truth, even if others no longer recognize it. Protect your energetic field through grounding, rituals, meditations, and intentional separation from toxic influences. Speak your truth without forcing others to understand it. Sometimes what they need is time and distance to find their way back through the fog. And when they do, when someone who turned against you begins to question what happened, meet them not with blame, but with openness. Because love, when real, can outlast even the darkest manipulations. Sabotage through spiritual influence is one of the most damaging tactics used against the soul. But once you identify it for what it is, you reclaim the power to begin healing. And from there, you can rebuild not only your relationships, but also your sense of peace, trust, and emotional strength. Sign 5. Physical sensations and environmental disturbances. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt uneasy without any logical reason? Maybe the air felt heavy, your chest tightened, or a chill ran through you despite the warmth around. These sensations often go unnoticed, dismissed as nothing more than mood or imagination. But what if there's something more, something ancient within you, responding to a shift in the unseen? Long before modern distractions dulled our instincts, we relied on our bodies to alert us to hidden dangers. That ability hasn't vanished, it's simply been ignored. And when someone targets you using occult or energetic methods, your first warning sign may not come through words or thoughts. It comes through your body and your space. Have you noticed strange changes in your home or personal environment? Rooms that suddenly feel oppressive. flickering lights that coincide with certain thoughts or conversations, devices malfunctioning only when you try to engage in healing or spiritual work. These aren't just technical glitches. Often they're the energetic world responding or reacting to something being directed towards you. One woman shared how she could never finish writing about forgiveness in her journal. Her phone would crash each time she tried. Another noticed that her cat refused to enter her bedroom for weeks, pacing outside the door and staring at nothing. These aren't coincidences. They're clues. When your electronics, your pets, and your body all begin reacting in strange, synchronized ways, something deeper may be occurring. Even the smallest environmental cues can carry weight. You might begin seeing unusual symbols in dreams, or waking life images, numbers, or patterns that repeat with uncanny consistency. While sometimes just coincidence when paired with emotional or physical discomfort, they can act as energetic markers planted to disrupt your focus or reinforce fear. Animals are especially attuned to these changes. Dogs may growl at empty corners, cats may hiss at unseen presences, and birds might fall silent or flee suddenly. Unlike us, they don't question their senses, they respond to them. Their behavior can often confirm what your own instincts are already telling you. So how do you respond when your space and your body begin to warn you? Begin by listening fully and without judgment. Stand quietly in each room of your home and notice what you feel. Is the energy warm and open or tense and stagnant? Are there areas that seem to drain you the moment you step inside? That discomfort is a signal. Trust it. Cleansing your space doesn't require elaborate rituals. Simple actions like using your voice, playing music, opening windows, clapping in corners, or burning herbs like sage or palo santo can shift stagnant or harmful energy. Place salt near doors and windows. Visualize light moving through your space. The tools don't matter as much as the clarity of your intent. But most importantly, keep your energy strong. Regular meditation, movement, journaling, and time in nature not only clear your mind, they reinforce your energetic boundaries. The stronger your presence becomes, the more quickly you'll notice when something feels wrong, and the more powerfully you can push back. Your body and environment are constantly offering you guidance. The more you learn to tune in, the less vulnerable you become to invisible manipulation. These physical and environmental disruptions are not to be feared. They are your earliest warnings and most loyal protectors. This concludes the 5 key signs that occult influence may be affecting your life, from persistent misfortunes and dream interference to sudden fatigue, broken relationships, and strange environmental cues. Now that you recognize the patterns you hold, the power to protect your peace, sharpen your awareness, and restore your energetic balance. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated, share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice could bring clarity to someone else's confusion. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on Stoic philosophy, energy protection, and emotional strength. Your path to healing begins with awareness and deepens with community.